FFTV on the pole. On the pole. Cross that line, the crowd goes wild, the checkered flags unfurl. FFTV on the pole, start the show. We're ready to roll. FFTV on the pole.
the win to Patrick Spangler. He
not enough. Jack Hitt gets the win here in Eldora tonight.
Mackey trying to counter, won't get there. Dino wins in the 358.
Flag waves, give it to the Samaconda, Sam Bachman.
Trevor Garou got the flag in sight, and he will get the victory here.
Door shut, final time off of 4. Christensen takes the checkered flag.
And it's a close race. It's going to be Shreves getting the win with Grammy.
Final time through 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves, give it to Gavin Chatham. Light some fireworks for the 007. Brockman brings home the win. The Iceman brings home the win. Give it to Chad Griggs.
Good evening there, everyone. Welcome to another night here of On the Pole Racing. I am your host, Adam Flinger, here with the FFTV, bringing you the racing action here of the Coast2Coast Racing League. Looking for sponsors here for the Wednesday night series. If you're interested, we are live here on the Coast2Coast Racing Network, as well as over at Figure Farm TV, or FFTV, as some may call it. Heat number 1 up and ready to go here tonight for your viewing pleasure. Here it is, your starting grid. Andy Patton will roll up out there in front, driving a number 87 for Fossil Fuel iRacing. To his outside, Jeff Barker in the 513. There in second. Starting in third tonight, Bright Sim Racing, the number 20, Blake Chapman. Starting third to his outside, Trevor Frank in the 121, starting fourth. Here in the third row, heat number 1, the 41, Pat Boyce. Start on the inside in fifth. Anthony Morano will round out the field for Full Throttle Motorsports in the number 32, back there in sixth. Not sure if that is exactly where White wanted to start off tonight, but that is where Morano's starting. Let me adjust something here real fast. I think we had that up just a little too loud. There we go. Everybody works their off corner numbers. What is that? 1 and 2. We are here. Try to see where we're. Man. Real quickly, your race info there tonight. We're here at the I-55 Federated Auto Parts Speedway. They all come there off corner 1 and no, gets the cut of 13. And the 121, Trevor Frank and Jeff Barker dangled up there at the back. That's not going to help their start for the night. Now you watch the driver come there out of turn number 2 down here through 3 and 4 up there along the outside. That number 87 out there in front of Andy Patton. Pat Boyce spun around down there on the inside. Andy Patton, Blake Chapman, Anthony Morano, the only 3 left on the speedway right now. As that 87 tries to get that midnight special, it looks like to me, down here around the speedway. They come off a turn number 4 across the stripe. Here in the 1 and 2, final lap. Half a lap to go for Andy Patton, and he's got Blake Chapman right on his heels here. Off corner 4, Andy Patton gets the win here in heat number 1. We'll get your heat number 1 official results here in just a moment. Your official heat 1 results is going to be Andy Patton getting that win, Blake Chapman there in second, Anthony Morano in third, Pat Boyce there fourth, Jeff Barker fifth, Trevor Frank rounds it out there in sixth. Heat number 2 on the grid. Bob DeGood going to start out there on the pole in the number 7 for Can-Am Racing. To his outside, the 411 of Jacob Morris. Down here in row number 2, inside the GSG RFX Motorsports number 89 of Mason Hine. rolls off in third. Raised the bar, number 518, Joseph Grandy there in a fourth. And rounding out the field here tonight is the 39 of Patrick Spangler. Now Spangler, he's got a pretty good job of getting around the speedway quite a bit. All right, getting around the tracks here in the Coast-to-Coast League. Now they all get ready to set and roll. One more time around here at the I-55. Trying to find the best camera view here, and I'm just not finding what I'm looking for. I roll through 1 and 2. And the green flag drops her down her way through 1 and 2, the 44-11. There, Jacob Morris getting a great run up there on the high side. The 89, Mason Hine trying to make something happen there on the bottom. Can't quite get there. And oh no, Grandy getting into the back of the 411 of Jacob Morris. Patrick Spangler, he seems to be struggling a little bit here tonight. Down here on the bottom. Well, as everybody else works up here against that outside wall. Got that pedal down, and I mean, they're just ticking these laps away, and we're down to 3 to go here in heat number 2. 11 drivers to make your field here tonight. The 89, Mason Hine trying to find something there on the bottom side a little bit. Can't quite make it happen. As he's there behind Mr. Bob DeGood, who started out there on pole. Got up there to the outside early, and now he's running that cushion around I-55 up there at that top side. I keep it going here. One more lap around for heat number 2 to come off here of turn 3 and 4. Mr. Bob DeGood will get the win here in heat number 2 at I-55. We'll be back after this short message. Don't go anywhere. More racing to come up as the night just got started. Word from our sponsors.
Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Sorry about that, folks. A little late getting here back to the track. Bob the Good, Andy Pat in your front row here tonight. Starting on that front grid. Now you see for 4th of July Racing 87, Andy Patton starting on the pole with Bob the Good there to his outside for Can-Am Racing. Driving at number 7, starting second. Row number 2 inside, Blake Chapman for Crite Sim Racing, and the number 20 starting third. The 89 from GSG RFX Motorsports, Mason Hine starts 4th tonight. Starting in 5th, that is the full throttle motorsports machine of Anthony Morano. The number 32 starts 5th. Joseph Brandy in the 518 raised the bar in 6th. The 41 of Pat Boyce is there in 7th tonight with Jacob Morris. His outside in the 411. Back there at the back, we got Jeff Parker in the 513 for Can-Am Racing. In 9th, Patrick Spangler back there in 10th in the number 39. And then rounding out your field here tonight, Trevor Frank in the 121. And I'm going to check on something here that might go and give some light onto what might go on here. Oh, no, I'm not sure then why. I don't know. Spangler just must be having issues tonight. I thought maybe he had penalty and he was just trying to make it easier on the admins. But he don't have no penalty. I get ready for the start here. The flag is down and away. Here we go. Turn 1 and 2. Out onto the back stretch now. They go almost 3 wide. They come together there and up. And oh, man, we got a foul. There in turn 3 and 4. It has become a parking lot. I can't tell who's all involved as of yet. It looks like Jeff Parker, Jacob Morris, Patrick Spangler, Bob the Good, Blake Chapman, Anthony Morano, all involved here. Take a look at the on-the-pole instant replay. As you see there, Jacob Morris. Mason Hine up there on the top side. See if we can get a hold of the number 20, Blake Chapman. He drifted up the racetrack. I think he gets into the right rear right there. Just a little bit of slick. Number 7 of the Good. Didn't let him drift up the track high enough. Chapman comes up, gets into him. Those two go down here to the bottom of the speedway. Morano's already there and committed to the line. Nowhere for him to go. He'll take a tumble up there to the outside of the racetrack. Morano up into the outside catch fence and just a bunch more spinning around there. There you see the 39. Patrick Spangler. And you got a couple more there. As you see, Chapman and Morano up and over there. Chapman with a broken front. I don't know how bad Morano's broke. We'll see if that pit crew can work its magic and get them back out here. Now he gets that thick green flag. And they're down the way in the corner, number 1 and 2. You see there, the 89 of Mason Hine. He'll get clipped and he'll catch the stuff coming around there. And they end up stopped there on the racetrack. No caution as of yet. I'm not sure why. Now caution flies. Barker and Hine were trying to get it to come out before that. Joseph Brandy running up there in front. Andy Patton there in second. Trevor Frank, Patrick Spangler now up there in the 4th. Much better start there as he moves up through the field after getting that car worked on. Pat Boyce not taking the grid. Jeff Parker down there in the pits. Blake Chapman out. I'm sorry, no, Blake Chapman's coming out of the pits, rather. Not that he's out, but coming out of the pits. 6 laps down. Parker is 3 laps down. Mason Hine is 1 lap there in the 89. Back out there on the speedway. Andy Patton out there as your race leader. Trevor Frank second. Spangler there in third. Jacob Morris here in a 4th. Now these drivers run the I-55 Federated Autoport Speedway here tonight at the Coast to Coast Racing Network, bringing you the Coast to Coast Racing League. If interested in wanting to help out and sponsor the Coast2Coast Racing League, you can check them out at c2crl.com. Up there through turn 1 and 2, green flag back underway. Spangler getting a hold of that top line there. Same with Andy Patton. Patton getting underneath of Trevor Frank. Frank stays up there. Andy Patton can't quite pull that slide off in the corner. As they work down there through turn 3 and 4. Back out here onto the front straightaway. Walking up there against the Spangler. Gonna try to make it 3 wide. Can't get it done. He'll go back. Blue 32 machine of Anthony Morano. Working there up on the high side. Morris there in a fifth. Grandy back here in 6th. Mason Hines, he's trying to get things back underway again as they keep it rolling now. We seem to have things underway as Trevor Frank as your race leader out there in front. Patrick Spangler there second. Patton there in third. Morano sitting there in fourth. Patton ends up down there on the bottom side. Here comes Morano up off the high side. And they work down there now off the corner. Frank out front, Spangler in second. I'm not sure. Okay, never mind. Andy Patton's falling back here. As we see Chapman up there into the outside wall. Throwing sparks every which way off that number 20. Morano also throwing sparks now as they work around the speedway. That Kill bar up there against that outside wall. 14 laps to go. Moore's out. Barker in the pits. Boyce never made the grid. And Morano comes around there on the top side. Single file line here at I-55, which is not unusual. Spangler there trying to get every ounce of momentum he can out of that machine as they work down there off of turn 2 down here through 3 and 4. And they work there now 1 and 2. Spangler trying to gain on Trevor Frank, but Frank doing a great job holding his line, running his marks as they run there through turn 3 and 4. A little bit of internet flip there out of me for some reason. Hopefully it's not too much there as they come off the corner. Frank now trying a new line, slides it up there out of the corner, 10 laps to go. As Trevor Frank looks like he's going to try a short slider. Here comes Patton. Patrick now underneath, slides it up. Here comes Frank. Frank now slides it through. Spangler going to keep a hold of that top line, coming there off of turn 2. Can't quite get there. Going to end up running there underneath just a tad as he gets into the wall, coming off of turn 4. And they work back through 1 and 2. Spangler down there on the bottom. Pat back here in 4th. Seems to be struggling a little bit there at the bottom through the middle. As Spangler seems to have things finally hooked up for him. There in the 39, dives it on down there, slides it through. Trevor Frango, he's going to do the cut down and come back around him there across the line. And come back down the back straightaway. Morano back here in 3rd. Chapman, he's catching here 39 of Spangler. He's 2 laps down, trying to get a lap back here. That's not going to really change his position any as he's only 2 laps down. But it is going to spoil Patrick Spangler just a little bit. That's Chapman is there. There we go. Now they single file out. 2 laps to go. Coming here off turn number 4. White flags in the air one more time around for Trevor Frank. Patrick Spangler knows this is it. Coming here to the bottom. Slides it through. Too much. He's going to slide it way up the racetrack. Trevor Frank gets the win here in the 360 Wing Sprint Cars here tonight at I-55 for the hometown heroes. Again, your winner for the division, Trevor Frank, in that number 121. We'll get your feature results It's going to be Trevor Frank, Patrick Spangler second, Anthony Morano third, Eddie Patton fourth, Bob the Good there fifth, Mason Hine in sixth, Blake Chapman there seventh, Joseph Grandy there in eighth, Jacob Morris there in ninth, Jeff Partner there in 10th, and Pat Boyce in 11th. That is your field of the 360 wing sprint cars here tonight. Give them a moment, we'll be getting with your podium finishers. See if we can get a hold of Morano here. Just not sure if I'm going to get him. Good evening there, Morano. How's it going tonight?
1, 2, 3, you can park there!
How's it
What's
going
going on,
tonight there,
Adam?
Morano?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. And what you think of the I-55 tonight? It seemed like that track was a little tricky tonight.
Yeah, she was pretty slicked up. Wasn't really expecting it to be that way, but it was fun to drive. Just I kind of goofed there. I didn't go for my picture right there. I saw Blake pass me. I thought I fell out of the podium spot, and then after the race, I saw Blake was a lap down. I was like, whoops. So my apologies there for the picture, but yeah, it was a fun race. I mean, I'm not sure what happened there on the start. I just saw cars come flying across the track to kill me, so I don't even know what happened. But just tried to keep the car straight and managed to get back up to third.
Well, you managed to get it back up to third, and it's normal, like what we see out of I-55. I feel like we saw that single line racing here tonight. How much of normalcy do you think that is here at this track?
Sadly, it's usually. I mean, I know, and for the most part, like you go into modifieds and stuff, it gets locked down to the bottom. But I know the sprint cars, it's pretty much up on the top. Late models, I'm not sure, but I guess we'll figure that out here in a minute.
Yeah, we're going to learn what the late models like. But I know like the 360s, the 410s, they definitely like that high side here at I-55.
Yeah, they definitely like to have the car. You know, you gotta have it right up against the wall and letting her eat as much as possible without spinning the tires. So that was the game plan from the start. Just bounce off the wall a few times and you know, missed qualifying for some computer issues. So not too bad of a bounce back from all that.
Didn't look like it. So, I mean, great job getting it back in the third. I mean, great job your crew for getting that car back together after that incident there on lap one to get you in that position to get third. So, you got sponsors, shout outs, people you want to thank?
I think my wife Sherry, the boys over at FTM, Swan Speed Shop, Super Dare Car, Expert Installation, Castleberry Flagstone, G&G Drywall Services, Vertex Graphics, Shaggy TV, Regals Wraps and Design for sponsoring tonight. Adam, you for doing the broadcast and never on a Coast to Coast.
Okay, great job there tonight. And we'll see how you do in the late models coming up next.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Okay, that was Anthony Morano there. You're a third place finisher. Now we'll get with second place, Patrick Spangler. Good evening there, Patrick. How's it going?
Pretty good, yeah.
It's going well, and just curious, is that roof design kind of a throw to something on your car tonight?
No, it just sticks out. The car itself is a replica of Cy Lynch's new car, but the top is just kind of something to stick out on the broadcast. So just something I like. I like checkered flag and the green and orange. So I asked Ross to hook me up, and he was able to hook me up with something.
Well, I know you said it was kind of a throw to Ed Lynch, correct?
Cy Lynch, it looks exactly like Cy Lynch's new car, like the white and the camo and the black. Just the top of the wing's different.
Okay, see, when I saw the top of the wing, that checkered pattern, it took me to Ed Lynch.
Yeah, he had some on the side. I don't know if he ever had on the top, but yeah, it's something cool. Looks cool, I think. He may have had it. I'm not quite sure.
Just know his car had it somewhere.
Yep, that's for sure.
So great job tonight. Bring it back up there into second. I know you look like, I don't know, was that the plan to struggle like that in the feature? Or I mean in the heat?
I got into I hit the back of Grandy. I think we all got bunched up and it bent the right front a little bit, so I was just fell back and I just couldn't get back caught back up. It was not the plan.
I thought maybe you had like a penalty or something. You were trying to help the admins out at first, but then I looked at the pit notes and no, there's no penalties. It's just, yeah, for some, I knew something had to happen for you to be hanging back so far there in the heat.
Yeah, I was making dinner for the kids and I came downstairs, so I missed qualifying. Had to start in the back and just got into the back of them, and then in the feature, I got in the first wreck, but I was able to work my way up front after some other wrecks, and then me and Trevor had nice clean slider battle. It's always fun when you can race clean with somebody like that. And I just couldn't keep with the momentum to keep ahead of him, and he kept getting the cut downs, and it was a fun race.
Now, I know Blake Chapman, he was 2 laps down and he was up there in the mix there for a moment trying to get a lap back. Kind of take us through. What was your thoughts on that whenever you're trying to battle for the lead? Like how much of a wrench did that throw trying to keep your momentum up and stuff?
My shoes were in the middle, and Blake's an alien. He's fast anywhere, so I was just trying to keep out of his way and run the top. I didn't even know he was 2 laps down. I thought he was racing for position, but no, Blake's a clean guy. Don't have to worry about him, so it was fun. I was just trying to catch back up to Trevor and try to set up a pass, but I couldn't make it stick.
Well, you did a great job. You got sponsors, shout outs, people you want to thank for getting that uh, second place finish here tonight.
Yeah, just Jack, Jeff, and Dean for on the league. You for everything you do for the broadcast and the league, and Regal Wrappers and Designs for the sponsorship tonight, and Velocity Race Signs for the paint, and Trevor for the clean race in there. That's fun.
Well, I know you're kind of a sprint car watcher. Are you watching the Silver Cup tonight?
Yep, I'm gonna take the limited lights off and go watch the Silver Cup. I got a plane right behind me right now.
Already. Great job there tonight. We'll be talking to you later there, Patrick.
Sounds good. Thanks. Bye.
All right, how about your third or your second place finish? Now we'll get with your winner, Trevor Frank. Good evening here, Trevor. How's it going?
Hey man, how are you? It's a long time no talk.
Yeah, it is. And you still haven't gotten anybody to paint that car up for you yet.
Yeah, still too lazy and still too busy, unfortunately.
Well, you did a great job tonight. You got the win. Did you think you had a car that was going to compete this well here tonight?
I definitely felt like I had speed going quick time in qualifying. That unfortunately I was racing with someone in the heat race there, and they got into the wall, and we got together. So I figured it would be a tall task starting absolutely last in the field, especially with some good guys racing tonight. And I was very fortunate to avoid the first lap melee, and then I found myself fourth and then second, and I just kind of decided I was going to go up there and rip the top as hard as I could, and it seemed to pay off.
Well, kind of looking through your win, out in front of you tonight, when you come up in the turn two there and that whole mayhem started happening, what was your thoughts and what did you figure was your best line to get through that?
It was certainly some pucker factor and a good application of the brakes to hopefully miss it all. And I kind of just went as close to the inside wall as I could. And I figured if someone comes down the track and hits me, it's meant to be. But if I get through it, I get through it. So I was just glad to not be a part of that little melee. I know it tore up a lot of good guys, and I was fortunate enough to be one of the benefactors of it.
It's really tough when you see things like happen. It happens so quick. I mean, it really tests your reflexes to try to miss stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely at a track like I-55 too. You don't have a whole ton of time. If something happens on the backstretch and you're entering 1 and 2, you don't have more than a few seconds to look, kind of past the corner and see it happening and try to find a way past it. So it's at these small bull rings, which these are the tracks that I absolutely love. I'm not a big fan of the half-mile momentum stuff. I like to be able to kind of go up there and rip the fence. And early in that race, I did find the middle. There was still some good grip in the middle of the racetrack, and I was kind of keeping that in my back pocket because I saw myself run away for a few laps running it, and it ended up being what got me the crossover on the win there. So glad that I found that and kind of kept it in my back pocket for a later use.
Well, you did a great job there, and I noticed there at the later end of the run, you were kind of experimenting there with the middle of the track again. Was that just something to see what was there, or were you trying to see if you could pull away a little bit that way?
For sure. I was just trying to make sure because I knew, I didn't necessarily have the fastest car on the top. I couldn't kind of keep my stuff straight as much as Patrick could. So I figured I'd probably have to do something egregious or drastic to actually win that race. So I started to move around a little bit once I built a gap. I saw him kind of hit the wall. So I figured I had at least a lap till he built his momentum back up, and I went and ran the middle for a couple laps, and it was really good. And to be honest with you, I could have probably pulled away doing it, but then everybody would have, and it would have went away, and we would have been kind of back to square one. So I kind of just played my cards where he was a little occupied with something. He hit the wall, and he was getting slid too, so I figured I had a lap where he wasn't necessarily paying attention to what I was doing, and I just wanted to see if I could feel it out to maybe have something, have an ace in the pocket or something to just kind of maybe get by him. And like I said, 3 and 4, I knew I was getting slid because I kind of messed up in 1 and 2, and I just hit the brakes, turned down, hit the grip on the exit, and he hit the wall again, and it ended up working out for us.
Well, you did a great job there, and you got sponsors, people you want to thank for getting that win tonight?
Sure do. Schuett Racing Incorporated, AmRamp, Box 3 Media, and Kirsch Bridge Builders as always. And thank you guys for putting on the broadcast and sponsoring the night. This is a ton of fun, this league, and especially when you get to do it clean like that and throw bombs on each other. That is some of the best racing iRacing has to offer. So again, thank you guys, and thank everybody that helps out, and thank the boys in Discord for watching me.
A great job, and we'll see how it pulls off here the rest of the night.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Trevor Frank there getting a win here at I-55 in the 360 wing sprints. We're going to go take a short break. We'll be back with your limited late models. So don't go anywhere. We got more racing action right after this break.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
1, 2, 3. I love it, Molly.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you.
Brother, it's good to see you.
My love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way, oh, I'm making my way.
Here from the Speedway, we got things all set to ready to rock and roll here with the late models. Everybody hangs around here trying to get everything situated. Trying to get things adjusted so it sounds okay. here we go. Let's see how that plays out here tonight. They roll down here through the corner. Underneath comes out 121. Trevor Frank here in the practice. Here with the limited late models. And then Morano there in the number 32. And for some reason that did not take here. For some reason. So we're going to have to reset that. Yeah. For some reason the driver paint's getting loaded up on the telemetry correctly. There we go, that should be better. There's the paints we're looking for. There's the 32 of the FDM 32 that we're used to seeing. Trevor Frank there in the 121. Mason Hines down there on pit road. Billy Roberts there in the 099. Rolling there across the stripe through 1 and 2. Trevor Frank, Anthony Morano. Billy Roberts, Frank, Morano. Morano the fastest one out there with the limited late with an 11.822. Working there now through off of turn number 2. And work down that back straightaway. So we have just a few more moments here as they get set to rock and roll. We're going to just relax and wait.
Sun up on the clay truck bed full of heat. Helmet in my hand, gravel in my teeth. fire. On fire.
Qualifying, finishing up here, and we get set for the Limited Lake Models. One heat, one main. 7 drivers registered. Take your pick out of that lineup. We got Mason Hine, Pat Boyce, Billy Roberts, Jeff Barker, Trevor Frank, Anthony Morano, and Jacob Ford. Who do you think's going to win here tonight in the Limited Late Models? Trevor Frank's already got a win here on his night for the Hometown Heroes Wednesday night from Coast to Coast Racing League here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. If you're interested in joining, look them up at C2CRL.com. Again, that is C, the number 2, CRL.com. Oh, here we go. Your starting grid for heat number 1. That's going to be Jeff Barker for KM Racing Team, the 513, starting up there on the pole. Billy Roberts in the 099, starting there in a second. In third tonight, that's Pat Boyce in the number 41. And in fourth, that is the 89 for GSG RFX Motorsports Mason Hine. Starting fourth, row number 3 inside the 121. Trevor Frank, the winner of the 360 wing sprints. Starting there on the inside in fifth to his outside, the Full Throttle Motorsports number 32, who finished third in the 360 sprints. Starting sixth here in the Limited Lake. And rounding out your field here tonight, Jacob Forrest back there at the back of the field in the number 411. Coming there off the corner, green flag is out there down the way. The Justin Dirt Fly here out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Roberts gets a great run there on the outside. So does Mason Hine. That's down there on the inside. Jeff Barker's struggling to get that bite that he needs to keep that momentum up. Here's come Morano now out there to the outside. It's looking to be a similar race to what we saw in the 360s, but they're much tighter. Here comes that 89. He's going to slide up and take. Oh, no. Tucked up here in the heat. Who's going to survive? And Morano is just torn to pieces. Frank tries to get through it. No, Frank does have damage. That boy's Mason Hines is torn to shreds down there in the pit. And they come there off the corner. Morano trying to hang together everything he can. Morales has damage out of the right front. I don't know if he'll have the speed there to check up the Parker. Parker trying to get through that. Luckily unscathed, but everybody else seems to be having issues from that. You see the 41, Jacob Moore, he looks pretty clean there. Just had to slow up quite a bit, lost a lot of momentum sitting there in third. Unofficial results here for heat number 1. Or for the heat race, rather, as there is only 7 registered late models tonight. The 513, Jeff Barker getting that win. Here is your heat 1 result. Jeff Barker in first, Billy Roberts in second, Jacob Morris their third. Trevor Frank fourth, Fat Boys their fifth, Anthony Morano sixth, and Mason Hine into seventh. Way back after a short word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. Your limited late feature coming up right after this.
Thank you to all of our sponsors.
All right, we're live here at the track. Checker flags waving. Get ready here for the event. You see there some of the times they're out of warm-up. Your starting grid going to be Chip Barker starting out there on the pole. And at second, Billy Roberts there in the 099. Row number 2 inside. The 411 of Jacob Morris. Starting third, Trevor Frank in the 121. Starting fourth here tonight. Pat Boyce in the 41. Starts there in fifth. Andy Morano there in the 6th position there tonight. Mason Hine in 7th for GSG RFX. Motorsports in the number 89 rounds out your field of 7 drivers. Now you see them all parked right there, all ready to go. 25 laps the distance as they get set for your limited late model race. Number 4. Here we go. Jeff Barker. Be where you want to be at the moment. Barker, he's hanging it inside. Try to grip up down there below the slick. Going to slide it up there just a little bit. Coming off the corner. Going to try to keep that momentum. Can't quite do it. He's down there battling below the 121. Trevor Frank. Now, if you were watching the 360 wing sprint, Trevor Frank was your winner in them. Here he is battling for second place. Down here through 3 and 4, back out here onto the front stretch. Right behind Robert Morano. Up into the outside wall goes the 411. Jacob Moores, he's going to have to take it to the pit. He is missing that whole right front tire. And most likely screwed up the steering in that machine. As you watch the 99 Billy Roberts come up the quarter. Here comes Trevor Frank, Jeff Barker, Bad Boys. Anthony Morano there in 5th spot. They come there now off the corner. There you see the A&J Landscaping number 99 coming there off the corner. Jeff Barker, Bad Boys, Anthony Morano, Mason High. There now down through off the corner. Everybody comes there now off. Anthony Morano, Mason High, Billy Roberts. Trevor Frank throwing the slider there. Again. And that's going to bring out your first caution. And Trevor Frank, not sure where he is at. He is pouring off. Hey, see him there coming out of corner number 2 down here through 3 and 4. Here comes Trevor Frank. He's going to dive it in there. Through turn 3 and 4, dives it down there onto the bottom. Coming up here now off of corner number 4. He'll get it slid up there. Robert's going to check up, slide underneath. Frank keeps a hold of it up there on the high side, and Roberts just not enough room for him there. Ends up bringing them up both up across the track entrance there in turn number 1. And a 513 there. Jeff Barker just puts them both up into the fence. He had really nowhere to go. Trevor Frank sitting there in 3rd. They got Jeff Barker out front. Roberts back here at the back. Just in front of Morano. Morris is out in that 411 after he took the header there. Off corner 3 and 4. Here we go into turn 1. The dust flies once again as you watch the 41. That boy slide it on up there. Here comes Trevor Frank. Back down there on that inside. Roberts there as well as the 2 fast drivers. trying to find their way back to the front. As Frank goes 3 wide, Morano on the bottom, Boyce up top. Now here comes Frank once again down there on that bottom side. He's working that bottom. That bottom's starting to come in for Frank a little bit as he's down there on there. 14 laps to go. As Frank still works 3 wide. Mason Hine there in the middle, trying to get around Boyce. He will do so. Back. Atkinson working his way back up through the field. Now they're starting to get single file out here once again. Mason Hine gets some momentum off the top side to get around Frank. Frank now there in the third. Morano once again looks to the bottom side, coming underneath of Pat Boyce. Can he get the pass down here through 3 and 4? He's looking like he wants to try, but can't quite do it. Boyce shuts the door there on the outside. Parker still leads the way here with 11 laps to go. Mason Hine there in second. With Trevor Frank there in third. A battle for fourth and fifth still raging here between Morano and Pat Boyce. Mason Hine now goes for the lead here off corner number 2. Down here through 3 and 4. He's going to try to slide it up. He will do so. Parker now has to go down there to the inside. And he'll try to slide it through, but Hine's going to get to the outside. They're going to go 3 wide here in the corner, 3 and 4. Frank's going to try to go 2 for 1. He will get 2. They come across the line. Mason Hine's going to bring it back up. He's going to bring it there back into the middle. Frank does. There they work off corner number 2. Right here off of 3 and 4. Frank back up there to the outside. Hine there back to the bottom, trying to get that momentum to work for him. And they're now off corner 1 and 2. Back out here now through 3 and 4. Frank back on the bottom as Hine has the lead. They make a little touch there going through 1 and 2. Bound that back straight away. Here's 6 laps to go. In the limited lane, these guys are all stacked up. Now you see Morano up there on the high side of 41. Up Boyce there as well. Roberts now, he'll try to make it go 3 wide down there on the bottom side below Barker. Barker ends up there towards the top side, but still up front. Frank and Hine still battle for that lead. Trevor Frank gets himself back in the second spot. Boyce there in third. Morano now battles with Boyce, trying to get back around him, and they come off of turn number 4 down here through 1 and 2. 3 laps to go for the limited late models here. Boyce into the outside wall, just a shade, and Morano bounces around quite a bit there, trying to keep the car underneath him. As Boyce Sills in the third spot. Look out, here comes Roberts there on the bottom. Roberts really wants that third spot back. He works around there now on the bottom side of Boyce. Boyce not going to let him have it. Morano don't want to let him have it either. Final lap in the air. Here comes Mason Hine out there in front. Trevor Frank, just not enough. As they come off 4 white flags, Mason Hine gets the win here tonight on the I-55 Federated Autosport Speedway. In second place tonight, that's going to follow that 121, Trevor Frank. But Pat Boyce there in third, Billy Roberts in fourth. Your race result here for your late model feature. Are going to be Mason Hine getting that win. Trevor Frank there in second. Pat Boyce in third. Billy Roberts fourth. Anthony Morano there in fifth. And Jeff Barker there sixth. Jacob Morris in seventh here tonight. And we'll get with second. Oh, nope, there we go. There's who we were looking for. Good evening there, Pat. How's it going? Pat Boyce, you got a copy? Good evening, Pat. Darren to number 41. Do you have a copy?
How about now?
There you are. Now we got a hold of you. Man, what a race tonight that was in the late models. Were you expecting it to be that racy?
Not really, but it was a lot of fun.
And it looked like it was a blast out on track tonight.
Yeah, the track was it was pretty good shape, and the cars are just a little underpowered, but other than that, they're fun.
Well, do you think that being that much under power might have helped them be so racy tonight?
I think so. It kind of grouped everybody up.
Well, I mean, you guys were three wide there for quite a few corners in this main event. What was your thoughts whenever you started hearing, you had 3 wide around you?
Hang on.
It just gets a little nervous here. I mean, the track's not super wide here.
No, it's not. You go 3 wide, you're pretty crowded.
It just shows the skill set of these drivers here you got in Coast to Coast.
Yeah, they are a good bunch of guys.
Well, you got sponsors, shout outs, people you want to thank for getting 3rd place tonight?
Just the whole Coast to Coast crew, and all the admins, and of course you for the broadcast. It's and supporting the league. It's a fun league.
Yeah, you guys definitely had a lot of fun there tonight. Congrats on 3rd place. Hopefully we'll see how the rest of your season goes.
Yeah, I just kind of got started back again. I took a couple weeks off.
Well, sometimes that can help and sometimes that can hurt. It can go either way.
Yeah, you got that right.
All right, congrats there again tonight, Pat, for that 3rd place, and hopefully we'll see you back next week.
Nice talking to you, Adam.
That's Pat Bush, your 3rd place finisher. Now we'll get with Trevor Frank, who really gave it his all here tonight. Good evening there, Trevor. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Going well. Another race where you're trading sliders back and forth, but this time it wasn't just the leader, it was the whole pack. What's your thoughts on finishing here in 2nd?
I'm actually just super happy that I finished that race, to be honest with you. It is so hard to slide anybody or really make any moves. And I was racing for the lead early there, and I got kind of, it was absolutely a racing deal. In no way am I blaming the other gentleman who I was racing with there. But he even said, I came off the racetrack, we were just trying to race hard for the lead there, because the second you break your momentum or someone gets a little too far out in front of you in the 602s, it's kind of over. So glad to recover from that. Definitely coming from dead last in the 360 race to a win, and then going from, wreck to second in that one. I'm very happy, especially in a point situation with the races so far tonight.
I mean, you're doing really well here with the Coast to Coast League. Looks like you've been really enjoying yourself. I know you didn't quite have the momentum, it seemed, to get up there to battle Mason. I mean, but you definitely didn't shy away from it. You definitely tried.
Yeah, I took my opportunity exactly 1 lap too early. I needed to build a little more of a run to try to slide him, because when I slid him, I didn't have enough momentum to clear it. I was actually kind of hoping to scare him into a mistake there and maybe have him hit the wall so I could do something off of turn number 2. And I just I didn't get it. He was rock solid on the top, and I didn't get what I was hoping for. And I'm happy to settle in for second and live to race another day with those things.
Well, what was your thoughts? I know I asked Pat Boyce on it, but what was your thoughts on how racy these things were tonight? I know they're a little underpowered, which we thought might have helped keep the cars bunched up, but man, you guys definitely put on a show here in the 602.
Definitely way more fun than racing the half miles with those things. I had a win I've won a couple races with those limited late models now this season, but on them big tracks, I generally qualify terrible, and then I ended up on the pole of a heat race, win that, and then I ended up on the pole of the feature and ended up winning that. So there's definitely more of an opportunity to be racy on those little tracks, and I absolutely love myself a bull ring, especially with the sprint car stuff or anything open wheel. I love to go up there and just pound the fence. So those tracks definitely speak to me a little more, but yes, they were definitely better than they've been at some of these other tracks. Lima Land was probably the closest, and I didn't have fun at Lima Land, so I'm going to say it sucked.
Oh man, well, great job tonight here in the limited late models. You got sponsors out if you want to thank there for getting that second place finish.
Yes, sir. Shua Racing Incorporated, Amaranth Box 3 Media, and Kirsch Bridge Builders. And as always, thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Hopefully, we get to talk to you one more time tonight in the midget race. Again, another one of those momentum tracks that I'm not very good at, but hopefully, I can just finish the race at this point.
Yeah, it's been a tough night. You've torn some things up here tonight.
Yeah, glad the escape button is all I have to press instead of having to foot the bill at the shop.
Yeah, I don't think your shop would be too thrilled with it tonight.
No, I think I'd be looking for a ride.
Well, great job. I mean, none of it's been your fault, though. That's the thing. None of it's been your fault.
Yeah, and I take some peace in that. There was certainly some things on Monday night that were my fault, and again, apologies to all those guys. I still feel pretty horrendous after that night of racing, but yeah, tonight I was very much a bystander, and I'm happy to take it as much as I dish it. So I'm gonna wreck some stuff, and it's gonna be what it is. As long as I can keep it on 3.5 wheels at Eldora, I think we'll be okay, because these things are a little too light to be going anywhere airborne.
All right, congrats there again, and we'll see you in the midgets here coming up.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, that was your second place finisher, Trevor Frank. Now we'll get with your winner, Mason Hine. Good evening there, Mason. How's it going?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and man, what a race tonight it was for you. You started back here towards the back, ended up coming up to win.
Yeah, the heat race was a bit of a debacle there, and I kind of messed up on the slider, and then started in the back and was just kind of biding my time, and then I was hoping for a caution. I got into the back of somebody there, and it destroyed my entire front end, and then caution came out luckily, and was able to make some repairs, and just kind of drove my race, and Trevor, man, he put the heat on, and it was a good race. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you definitely didn't win it by a landslide, that's for sure. I mean, Trevor definitely was there right with you the whole time, and he was waiting for you to make that one mistake.
Yeah, and there was one point I think I went to the middle, and we went 3 wide, me, Jeff, and I think Pat, and that was kind of sketchy. But then I felt like the middle was working really well. So when Trevor was sliding me there, and we were kind of going back and forth, I decided to run the middle, and I kind of didn't leave him any room, and we were talking about it, and he was like, yeah, I was going to throw a haymaker at you, but you kind of went in the middle, which was kind of my plan. I was trying to block the slider, but I didn't want to make contact. But yeah, it worked out, and I'm happy, and finally won one of these.
Oh, you did a great job here tonight. We'll see how it plays out for you in the points, though, as we really start to look at them here next week.
Yeah, I haven't been running much, so I'm probably not in point contention. I know Trevor was. We were talking about it. He's in point. I think he's leading the points, so it's always good to beat the guy leading the points. So I'll take it.
All right, congrats. You got sponsor shout-outs, people you want to thank for getting that victory tonight?
Yeah, I would thank you and Regal Wraps Designs for sponsoring this and putting this on. Power Plant Sim Sports, Metro USA Speed Shops, and Grand Slam Graphics.
Alrighty, congrats there again, Mason. And you going to come out and try your hand at the midgets, or are you done tonight?
I think I'm done for the night.
Alrighty. Sounds like you got family there behind you, so go enjoy your night.
Yeah, the kids. Got to put them to bed.
Alrighty, have yourself a good night there, Mason.
Yep, thanks, Adam.
All right, that was Mason Hine, your winner here from I-55 here tonight. Great racing here in the late models. Couldn't have asked for anything better. We get set here to move over to our Regal Wraps midgets. Don't go anywhere after this after this short break. We'll be back with the Regal Midgets. They're a lot of fun to watch, so you don't want to miss it.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
1, 2, 3. I love it, Molly.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you.
Brother, it's good to see you.
My love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home, I'm making my way.
All right, here we are at the Speedway of Eldora now. We get set to rock and roll with the Regal Midget. Now you see them work down that back straightaway. These are little cars here at this big half-mile track. I think it's half-mile. Take a look here at the race info here for your Eldora. 74 degrees, 47% humidity, partly cloudy, 5-mile-per-hour winds. It is a half-mile track, 63 degrees is your track temperature. Out of Rossburg, Ohio here. Running this dirt as they are set to roll here tonight. Blake Chapman out there in the number 20. And OS, Pat Boyce there in the number 41, Young Gun. We have a few others out here in the pits. There's the Marines machine of Jeff Barker. Jack hit in that Hooters machine at 217. Mr. Bob the Good there in the number 7 United. Trevor Frank in the 121. I have not seen him come here onto the pit yet. They roll there off 1 and 2. 7 drivers once again here in the midgets. We'd very much like to see more drivers come out for this division. So go ahead and type in C2CRL.com. I'll put it in the chat there at the over there with the Coast2Coast Racing Network. Yeah, that's C2CRL.com. And if you're over at Flicker Farm TV watching, there should be a link in the description over there. Brandon Devilton up there as your fastest driver right now. Here in a warm-up with a 16.263. Trevor Frank, he put down a time of 16.440. The checkered flag waves here for the warm-up, which means we got 7 drivers here tonight for your Regal Wrap Midgets at Eldora tonight. Qualifying underway as we walk them down here out of the corner. There's a 31, Brandon Devilton coming out there. Here's that 121 on the high side, working down there now off turn number 4. Bobby Good down there on the bottom. Out of 4 coming through 1 and 2. Up off of 2 down that back straightaway here through turns 3 and 4. Looking good, very good and decent so far there in the 7 as it comes across the line. Devilton with a 16.406. Bob the Good, as we're currently watching, out of Kansas City, Montana, has a 698. Jeff Barker with a 16.635. Bob the Good finishes out here with a 16.690. Pat Boyce there with a 16.817. Jack Hitt there with a 2 in the number 217 has a 17.213. Trying to get it out there to see. Chapman comes out. He'll lay down a 16.324. As Jack Hitt comes up there, he'll get a 16.584 for his time. Chapman coming across. See if he improved at all. Does not. His qualifying time a 16.324. Heat number 1 coming on up. Your starting grid. Going to be Jack Hitt starting out there on the pole in the number 217. Trevor Frank there in second in that 121. Row number 2, Hammer Down Racing's the number 31. Brandon Devilton starting in third. Blake Chapman for Crate Sim Racing in the number 20 starts fourth. Jeff Barker in the 513. Can-Am Racing going to start there with the 513 in fifth. Can-Am Racing Team Teammate, the number 7 of Bob the Good, starts in sixth with Pat Boyce, rounding out your field here tonight in 7th. We do have the full field out there. Set to rock and roll here at Eldora. 6 laps here for your heat. They work down that back straightaway. Here are 3 and 4. Come now off here through 3 and 4. Paystar is driven by Fred's going to pull down there off the bottom side of the racetrack. Barney's going to grab that green flag. Here we go. The Ohio Dustin Dirt about to go flying as they go into quarter number 1. Side by side down there on the bottom is Jack Hitt. Trevor Frank down there as well. Brandon Templeton finally gets underneath him, coming there off the corner, way down there against that bottom. They come off the corner. Blake Chapman there in the third. Jeff Barker for it. Trevor Frank trying to keep a hold of it. Down there on the bottom side. It was going to slide there along the bottom side. Jack Hitt falls back there. And, man, the way these things are sliding around, I thought somebody was going around back there. But Templeton out there in front. Jack Hitt there in second. Here comes Chapman in the second, looking looking up top. Frank looking underneath of Jack Hitt. Almost a 3-wide battle here as they head here through turn 1 and 2, heading to the back straightaway. Trevor Frank's got to be careful he doesn't get into Jack Hitt as they roll there off of 4. Down across that bottom, he's got that thing really down there against that inside wall. 2 left to go. That'll work now off turn number 4. Back around there now onto the back stretch. I'm sorry, that was 1 and 2. I'm getting all turned around there in camera number 1. They just switch to camera 2 as they come off 4. White flag in the air for the heat race. Templeton as your leader down there against that inside wall. Works his way up, down into 3 and 4. And back around again. Off of 4, white flag, or checker flags in the air. Templeton will get the win here at Eldora in the heat race. So Brandon Templeton, your race victory winner here at Eldora. That'll give him pole position. We'll be back after a short word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. The main event of the Regal Championships right after this commercial break.
Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Warm-up just about to end here for your Regal Rap midgets. They come off of turn number 2, down that back straightaway. They you see Trevor Frank there in the 121 down there on the bottom. Charlie's hitting third fastest here. There you see Chapman. Templeton still the fastest one here with a 16.329. There you can see how much the others are off of that time. And we get set here for your main event. For your midget, your final race of the evening. Here we go, your starting grid. You got Brandon Talented for Hammer Down Racing in the number 31. Starting out there on the pole, Blake Chapman for Great Sim Racing. Driving the number 24 there and second. Row number 2 inside the 121. Trevor Frank starting there in third. Jeff Barker there in fourth from K&M Racing Team in the 513. Jack Hitt in the number 217 Hooters Machine. Starts fifth here tonight with Mr. Bob the Good. Starting there in sixth, teammate Jeff Barker. And that number 7, Pat Boyce in the 41, rolls off in 7th here tonight at Eldora to get things rolling with the Regal Raps Midgets. Brad starts the rolling countdown here. They got a lap and a half left to go before they officially take the green flag. Brad will bring them here through turn 3 and 4. Head back out here onto the front straightaway. Again, if you're interested in joining, there in the chat is the link that you need, the C2CRL.com. Come on over. We would love to see more drivers participate, especially here on Wednesday and Thursday nights. Driving the late models, the modifieds, the midgets, they're all fun. It's a lot of fun over here because a lot of great competition. Good sportsmanship as well as they work down here off the back straightaway for the final time before taking the green flag. Brad will pull that pace car in the pit road, and we're going to get underway for the Regal Raps Midgets. Down and away they go, 25 laps the distance for your main event as they go 3 wide here through 1 and 2. That Marine Machine of Jeff Barker slide back there in the fifth as Jack Hitt gets himself up there in the fourth. Chapman already up there against that outside wall, trying to find that cushion. Templeton running the bottom side. Here comes Trevor Frank. He's following Templeton down there on the bottom side. Well, how's that going to play out there for Chapman? And Chapman's going to keep it solid up there against that outside cushion. And we got 2 of them fighting down there on the inside. Chapman might have something up there along that outside rim if he can just keep the momentum up. He's slowly getting around Frank. Frank, though, gets around here down on the bottom. Who's going to carry the momentum up the corner? That's what you got to watch for. And right now, Frank still is carrying just enough. But Chapman, he's up there on that top side. Looks like he might soon start to gain something. They come here through turn 3 and 4. And Frank's down there on the bottom in that 121. 21 laps to go. Down there off the corner of 2. Chapman way up there against the fence. Templeton running kind of the middle and then the bottoms of the corner. Running the middle on the straights, bottoms through the corners. Trying to keep that momentum high. And that track line, whoa. Not being the quickest one around the speedway. As you see, he's got a second gap over top of Chapman. And there have a second gap between Chapman and Frank. Now Frank jumps up there to the outside wall. That kid, he's still trying to run what Templeton is. Now he'll jump up there to the high side. Jeff Barker, he's still running that lower line. That's kind of Templeton's running here with 19 laps to go here at Eldora for your Regal Raps Midgets. Here on the Coast2Coast Racing Network down there on the bottom side. You see that 513 of Barker. Bob the Good right there behind him. Templeton still hanging on out there as Chapman. He's getting a great ride on the outside. He's closed the gap a little bit. Not enough, though, but he has closed it. Up there on the top, he can get it down to about a half a second in the corners. Now he's got it down to about a half a second before entering here through turn 3 and 4. Man, it's going to come down to it. I mean, that gap is just so hard to try to make up. Templeton now jumps up there to the high side, and he sees these guys coming. Trevor Frank back there in third. I just don't know if Frank has what it needs to get up there to battle those guys out front. He just needs to focus on staying ahead of like Barker and Jack Hitt. As Jack Hitt now, he'll get up there looking to see what he can do. He's into the outside wall. Pat Boyd's there through the middle of 1 and 2. Mr. Boss Good up there in the fifth as Jeff Barker hangs on the fourth. They're in their current starting position at the moment. But Blake Chapman, look out, comes for the lead, getting underneath of Templeton. He'll get there and take over that lead for the moment. But here comes Templeton, Templeton. So Chapman out there, but Templeton down there on the bottom. Templeton's trying to make a run for it there. Off at corner number 2, down that back straightaway. Templeton down back underneath there through third, 3 and 4, but Chapman has a better line up there on the top side. It does not look like Templeton can quite get that momentum that he needs off that bottom line anymore. So Templeton's going to try to figure something out. He really drives it in there hard on that bottom side. Just can't seem to get that momentum to stick and to pick that car up there to the lead like he was hoping. And work down that back straightaway, because when he comes off, he's coming right back behind of Chapman. I mean, he can pull even with him there in the corner, just can't quite get enough momentum to really make a fight there. It looks like Chapman's just a little better through 3 and 4. Yeah, Templeton's better through 1 and 2 is what it's looking like, but it looks like Templeton's now falling off a little bit down there on the bottom. He's going to have to try to pick something up here. I don't know if he wants to try the middle or a short slider there through the corners. He's still underneath, trying to get around Chapman. Trevor Franks is watching all this go down in front of him. With 9 laps to go here at Eldora. For your Ringo Raps Midgets here this Wednesday night for your hometown heroes. They work there off corner number 1 and 2, down that back straightaway. Up there on the top side, Templeton, Trevor Frank, Jack Hitt, Jeff Barker there in the 5th, Bobby Good there in 6th. There you watch Chapman down through, off the corner, Templeton there in 2nd, Frank in the 3rd, Jack Hitt 4th. 6 laps to go. And he's up there on the high side. Trevor Frank, Jack Hitt, Jeff Barker. 6 laps to go for Chapman as Templeton tries to chase him down. Trevor Frank back there in 3rd. Jack Hitt up there on the high side himself, trying to make up some time. He's 7 seconds down, though, from the leader of Chapman. Not enough there to bring it off. As he's up there against that high side, down there now off corner number 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. 4 laps to go. Trevor Frank there out in 3rd, down there across the bottom in that iRacing machine at 121. Brandon Templeton in 2nd, driving a 31. That dirt track bank machine down along the bottom edge. 3 laps to go as he tries to find some extra grip. Chapman, though, just has that thing on rails up there along the outside edge, just singing along as he goes around here. A lap and a half left for Blake Chapman coming here out of turn number 4. The white flag's unfurled. Blake Chapman hits 1 lap to go here at Eldora tonight as they come there now off of turn number 2 down that back straightaway. Chapman, Templeton, Frank, your top 3 podium finishers here as they come off the corner. Here comes Blake Chapman, checks the flag in the air. Blake Chapman in the NOS number 20 machine will get the win at Eldora tonight. In your Regal Raps Midget. Your official results soon will be up, but Blake Chapman, what a run there for him. Getting that top side to come together to get around Templeton. And even Trevor Frank there in 3rd. We'll get away your podium finishers here in just a moment. Your feature finishing order is going to look like this. It's going to be Blake Chapman getting that win for Triton Sim Racing. Hammer Down Racing, number 31, up Brandon Dumbledon getting second. Trevor Frank there in third. Jack Gitt fourth. Jeff Barker fifth. Bob the Good there in sixth. Pat Boyce in seventh. Good evening there, Trevor, for the third time tonight. Now you got a 1, 2, and 3 on tonight.
Yeah, occupied every step of the podium tonight. I was kind of hoping to just only be on one spot, but you know that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I sure didn't have anything for either of those guys in that race.
Well, you said you sometimes struggle keeping up momentum high on these half-mile tracks.
Yeah, I'm terrible at half miles. Definitely, admittedly, I'm horrendous at them. I don't know how to. Like I said earlier, I'd rather just beat the boards down at a small track than kind of race on these big momentum tracks. So yeah, I definitely didn't have anything for the top two. Thought I did at the beginning there, and then Blake got the top rolling, and I went to do it, and I about put it back to the whatever that bar is outside of the racetrack in Ohio. So it was bad for sure, but I'm glad to be third. Definitely we had everybody else covered, so that was a good night there. I was the slowest of the three that had a good run there.
Well, I mean, with the way the competition is here in the midgets, I mean, coming home with a podium is always a good night.
Certainly, yeah. Especially currently find myself as the points leader in both the limiteds and these midgets. So to finish the race is good. To be on the podium is good, and just kind of keep that momentum. And excited when we get to some of these smaller tracks with the midgets because I feel like I definitely have a chance there.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, you got sponsors, shout-outs, people you want to thank for getting third place tonight in the midget?
Yes, sir. Box 3 Media, AmRamp, Kirschbridge Builders, and Shua Racing Incorporated as always, and thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. I look forward to racing with you guys next Monday and for the Nationals, so that's going to be a good time. If anybody that's watching tonight is not signed up for that, it's going to be an absolute blast with the 360 Nationals. I'm hoping for a rain out in real life because we're supposed to race Thursday, so I'm hoping it pours in Kenosha, Wisconsin, so that we can race the 360 Nationals feature.
All right. Well, congrats there tonight, Frank, and we'll see, hopefully good luck to you next week.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, so that's Trevor Frank getting that third place here tonight. Second place going to go to Brandon Templeton. Good evening there, Brandon. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good tonight.
Well, you pulled off second. You didn't quite hold on to that lead. I mean, I don't know what Chapman found up there at the top, but it didn't seem like anybody had anything for him up there at the top side.
Yeah, the bottom just started getting a little slicker there, like at the beginning of the feature, the first 5 or 10 laps. I knew it was kind of headed that direction. I was just hoping that, the top would get trickier. And, it was actually pretty tricky up there. Blake's just so smooth and so fast. Once he got by me, I thought sometimes you might move up into their lane and try to catch up some time and make a move and pass them back. But with Blake, you'd have to be 100%. He doesn't make very many mistakes. I think he might have scraped the wall a time or two, but he recovered pretty quick, and I probably would have scraped it 10 times. So I think I just stuck to the bottom where I knew I could hold on and take second. We'll go on to next week.
Well, I know the top three tonight was definitely a battle. Not quite the battles we saw in the 360s and the limited length, but I mean, it was still a battle out there for you guys to try to keep that momentum high here at Eldora. I mean, these things this is just a huge momentum track for these midgets.
Yeah, if you got just a tiny bit sideways in the corner, it felt like it'd slow you down 10 mile an hour instantly and you just kill momentum. But like you say, it was good racing, like green flag laps where you can try to make time lap after lap and little adjustments on how the tracks change. And I like that a lot compared to pack racing, like a lot of the modified races seem to be.
Well, great job there tonight. And you got sponsor shout outs, people you want to thank there for getting second.
Yeah, I got to thank Dirt Track Bank, Malvern Bank, Jay Burdick, Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care, you for putting on an awesome stream, Regal Wraps, lowgroove.com, everybody helping out, Hammer Down Racing, all the guys back on the team, and everyone watching at home. Thank you.
Already, great job there, Brandon, and we'll see how the rest of the season goes for you. And that is going to be your second place finisher, Brandon Templeton. Now we'll get with your winner here, Blake Chapman. If you wanted to. Good evening here, Blake. How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty well. How about yourself, Adam?
It's going really well here. I'm glad that the weather's kind of cooled off a good bit here, so that's good. Just unfortunately came with some severe storms, but we worked through that. Great job there tonight, man. Did you lay rails down before the race on that top side, or you were just so smooth up there tonight?
Yeah, I was wondering if anybody noticed that what I was doing there in the warm up, but no, it was just that finally the top got some speed. I went up there for the heat race. I qualified down low, quick time down low, and I figured it was just going to be down low pretty much all night. There was so much grip down there, and then for the heat race we were stuck on the outside, so yeah, tried to hit the middle on the very first corner, and that did not work. So took it to the very top and flew around a couple of guys up there just first lap of the heat race. And I'm like, oh, okay, we got a little bit of speed up here, but that bottom was still faster, and Templeton had that thing rolling down there. So we knew we just had to be patient up top. The bottom was definitely the quicker line at the beginning of the race, but even just like 5 laps in, you could tell it was starting to go away a little bit. And anybody's going to hit that bottom and be consistent, it's Brandon. And I knew he was struggling down there a little bit. So, it was definitely going away on him, and I could tell, he's moved up a time or two and then went back down. He's definitely thinking about where to go, and just kind of had him right where we wanted him, and we were able to slide him, get around him, and yeah, the top was really fast by the end of this race. Really had this thing rolling up there. Felt really comfortable, and once you get the momentum up in these things and you're able to keep it rolling, it's it was going to be tough to catch me, that's for sure.
Well, and like you said, the momentum means everything, especially at a half mile like Eldora.
Yeah, for sure. I usually prefer the shorter tracks in these cars, but I don't know, something about tonight. I really just had this thing rolling up on the cushion, and you get this thing, a little bit sideways. These entries are so important. If you get this thing a little sideways on entry, it can really slow you down. So, you just got to be careful getting it into the corner. But that was definitely my biggest challenge tonight, just getting it into the corners. Once I got it into the corners, I was able to hit that cushion pretty consistently, and tap the wall once or twice coming out of the corners, but nothing that upset the car too much. So, yeah, we were really smooth up top, and just fortunate to grab another win here in these midgets.
All right, great job, and hopefully we'll see how the points play out for you here this season. And I hear the Nationals are next week, so you're going to be doing that instead, I'm sure.
We won't be racing next week. It'll just be nationals. So, looking forward to that. We'll have to make the qualifier, but got a real race to attend to on Thursday night. So unless that gets rained out, we'll be missing the finale of that Knoxville Nationals, which is unfortunate. But it's for a good cause. Charity's great, and we've talked to them when we've gone out to Knoxville in real life. So they do good work for real race car drivers. So it's good to support them, and it's always a fun event. Coast to Coast does a great job of putting on these charity events, that's for sure.
All right, great job there tonight, Blake, and we'll see how it goes the rest of the season. You got sponsors, people you want to thank for getting that win tonight?
Yeah, of course. I got to thank the parents for watching. I got to thank all the guys out at KSR, Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps, AJ Custom Creations. Got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. They got some really very delicious popcorn. You can head over to their website and check it out for yourself. Don't forget to use code CART at checkout for 15% off some of their very delicious popcorn. I got to thank Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding, Kreitz Oval Track Parts, and I got to thank Mason Hine at Grand Slam Graphics for putting me together a paint for the Knoxville Nationals, ready to debut that thing next week. It looks real good. So I'm excited for that, and you just got to thank everyone involved in this league and making it run so smooth, and having so much fun in this league. And I got to thank you for the broadcast, Adam.
Alrighty, congrats there once again, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
So that's your winner, Blake Chapman here. We wrap things up tonight. Great job there from every competitor tonight here at Coast to Coast. We're going to get ready to sign off here. Good night, folks. Thank you all for watching. Have yourself a great night and a great upcoming weekend.